also did an internship in the past at a political campaign, which taught me that I never want to work in politics.
I'm Dominic Fitzgerald. I'm also a senior and majoring in computer science and minor in biology. And I completed an internship at the Boeing Company as an application developer, and also did a research experience at University of Chicago.
Thank you very much. We're scrambling for more chairs, which is an exciting thing to have. So I didn't hear all of that introduction, darn it. But maybe throughout this we'll be able to do that. What I want to talk about today, you've talked about where you've interned. I'd be very interested, and we're going to open it up for questions because I think that you will have the best questions here. But if you could talk a little bit about how you found the opportunities that you did, and what the application process was like, that would be great. I don't care who starts, but if you want to start at the beginning, that's great.
So my internship application process was a little bit different because I just applied to the study abroad program, and then my placement was done by someone that is a friend of Dr. McDuff's. However, if you're interested in doing an international internship, there's plenty of groups and programs that will place you. It's kind of a little chicier than just doing a study abroad program, but you could be very satisfied with the results of their really good internships. You get the culture immersion that you get with study abroad, but it's a little more intensive than just taking courses.
As far as my application process went, it was a lot of Googling, so I definitely had to put in a lot of time on the front end trying to find research opportunities. But if you guys put the time in, then it can really reap a lot of rewards. And I would say that what Polly said is really true. An internship isn't necessarily just going to come to you. It might, and that would be awesome. But putting in a little bit of work on the front end is definitely how I found all my research opportunities. And it was a simple, like, genetics undergraduate research experience. And then that kind of got me going on everything. So Google.
I want to build on that just 1 second. How many of you are seniors in the room right now? No one. Okay, well that's interesting because your experience is leading you to several interviews. Probably a lot of what you're going to be doing is because of the experience and the people you met during that process.
Right. So you do a lot of work on the front end trying to get these experiences, but once you're in that setting, you have the opportunity to meet a lot of people and make a lot of connections that are going to make your life a lot easier. So because of my research experiences that I had, and then a lot of great scientists that put me in connection with a lot of other scientists, and I was able to get like grant money from the NIH to go do a separate projects because of these experiences, and I'm able to put that on like my graduate school applications now, and they make me a much stronger candidate because I have that experience in my field. And that's something that's really valuable. I think when people are looking at applications, it's how you can find out if you're in the right field and if you're doing what you love. And so the experiences that you get is valuable not just for like the technical skills that you're going to gain from the internship, but the people that you meet can play a really important role in your future.
How about you, Shannon?
And then mine, kind of building off Chelsea, came from a lot of networking. I'm actually working with Polly in the Career Center. She's the assistant director of medicine. She found her psychology conference with Rex Wallen, who was a director of user experience at the company I wanted to work for. So she put me in contact with him. I emailed him 3 times before he responded to me. And we set up a phone conversation. I just kind of introduced myself, like I'm really interested in working here. He's a Truman alumni. And so he finally set up a phone call with me, brought me down for a job shadow, and then like I built up, I kind of like, I guess, I sold myself to him, I guess, and he then was willing to fight for me to help me get an interview, and then once I got the interview, it was up to me as to whether I was going to get the job or not. So networking has been really, really important in everything that I've done. Even with my internship as a sophomore, it was reaching out to people, almost stalking them
Fine
in a
line.
professional way. LinkedIn's been amazing. I reach out to people on LinkedIn a lot. But Chris has been awesome. So, was my contact at the event. So, yeah.
opportunity that might exist. I kind of went to my advisor in a panic, realizing that I could graduate earlier than expected, but I had to do an internship kind of immediately. And so she very calmly made some suggestions, and she knew someone that worked at Great Circle, which is my internship here in Kirksville, that they hadn't had an intern before, but they might be interested in one, she didn't know, so she kind of set up an appointment for me to meet with them, see if they might be interested. So I went and I interviewed with the company. They liked me enough, I guess, to offer me a position, and then I had to come back and fill out all the paperwork from the university on that end.
So yours was a 4-credit internship required by your major, right?
Mine was a 4-credit internship required. It wasn't, you don't have to do the internship for the major, but it can replace one of your upper level classes.
So I'm just curious, what did you do at Great Circle? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. So Great Circle, they have several locations across the state. The one in Kirksville specializes in intensive in-home services, which contracts with Children's Division. So families that are dealing with Children's Division for whatever reason get referred to Great Circle, and they do a program that lasts usually from 6 to 8 weeks. Sometimes it can go longer if they get an extension. And they work with these families to help them resolve whatever issues that Children's Division has been made aware of that is requiring them to address, so that hopefully they can keep their kids. And so they just do a variety of things. If it's unsanitary living conditions, the caseworkers go in, they may have to help them clean, teach them skills involved with cleaning and just scheduling and planning their lives better. Just working with really whatever Children's Division sees as a need that the family has to address. And then they also do an Incredible Years program, which they do out of the primary school in Kirksville. And it's more of it's a voluntary. Both programs are technically voluntary, but this one is not regulated by Children's Division. A parenting class for parents who just kind of work on parenting skills in that way.
Okay, so I think my internship was definitely a little different than I did how most people thought theirs. I definitely did a lot of Google searching to start, so that's definitely a good place to begin. But I had volunteered at a hospital my sophomore year, and then that hospital was looking for ways to reinvent their volunteer services program. And so they went to a conference where St. Jude was actually presenting, and so they gave me all this information on St. Jude, and I thought, wow, this sounds incredible. I will keep this in mind for next summer. So from that, I was able to find the application online the next summer, and it was really just turning in a resume and a cover letter, and from there I had a phone interview and then an in-person interview. So I would say, based off of that experience, if you are involved in anything volunteer-wise, then getting in contact with those people and seeing if they know of any other opportunities for you to further your experiences is a good way to help out on internships.
I was required to complete an internship for the praxis track of the art history major that I just finished up. So our professors gave us some guidance on how to find internships and some names to contact, but I have always kind of been more of just a go out there and find something on my own, taking that approach. So I probably located about 10 internships that I was interested in at various museums and arts advocacy groups in Kansas City, and then some that were in different cities as well. Ended up applying to about 4 of them, and then heard back from 2 soon enough that offered me positions that I just didn't end up applying to the other ones. And so then I had to narrow it down between those 2, which was kind of a hard decision because it was between working for an advocacy group, which is something I'm very interested in, but then also working for a more established museum that's one of the top museums in the country, and maybe not exactly the work that I wanted to do, but I knew it would open networking opportunities and connections and give me interesting job experience that I wouldn't be able to get at this other location, even though it was more my area of interest. So I ended up taking that internship at the Nelson Atkins, and I would suggest if you know of a business that you really, or a nonprofit organization that you really want to work for, that you consistently check back their internship pages, because the Nelson doesn't typically accept college interns that don't go to the Kansas City Art Institute, but this one department just needed an intern for the summer and posted on their job openings, and that never happens at the Nelson, and I just because I constantly checked back with them, found that opportunity and was able to apply for it. So yeah, if there's a place you really want to work, make connections with someone there and keep checking back to see if there are opportunities for it.
What kind of a connection would you recommend?
If you are able to find the information, emailing someone in HR is always really a good way in. and you can set up a job shadow or some sort of job visit. I actually worked at the Nelson in education, like doing a part-time job when I was in high school and for the first couple years of college, so I was able to like email my old boss who gave me the contact information for someone at HR that I could set up job shadows with, and that kind of snowballed from there.
I probably took a slightly more traditional route to, at least to Boeing. My sophomore year, fall, I just shotgunned the career fair. Just went and found all the companies that were looking for CS people and just gave them all my resume. And Boeing liked what they saw, apparently. So, and
They just posted a bunch of internships, or I posted it for them on Monday, so just to let you know for anybody.
So, then they had me present the San Francisco interview, and then I got that internship, and that was cool. And for University of Chicago, I actually did do like the Google search method. I actually was lucky enough to find like Columbia University had a big compilation of a bunch of biology REUs. So I just kind of went down that list and picked a couple of cities that I thought would be cool to go to, and applied directly to each of those programs. And then I just, University of Chicago called me up. That was it.
Do you guys have any questions at this point? Anything in particular? What kind of majors do we have in the group? Anybody in computer science? Okay, just one person. You should be able to find an internship, just let me know. Without too much trouble. What other majors? Okay, don't be so quiet now.
Communication.
Communication, okay. Lots of opportunities. Have you looked, have you been looking? Okay. Different things, okay. Anybody else? Anybody in English? Okay. So what types of things are you looking? You need these internships in this field particularly. I really want to tell you that. You don't necessarily get a good big push from your department to have internships because it's not a requirement of most of the time. However, the experience is invaluable. But don't just think, where do you think you could apply for an English internship? What ideas do you have?
I know a lot of companies who worked in like public radio, editing companies, publishing companies, yeah.
Ad agencies. There are so many opportunities out there, but just realize good writing skills are valued by a lot of people, by everyone, actually. So one of the companies that's going to be coming next week for the first time to our career fair is Walsworth Publishing. And it's kind of a big deal that they're coming. So that is an opportunity for English majors, but not just English. They need computer science majors. When I talked with the recruiter, they said, no, we need the accounting and we need computer science. We don't just need writers. So anyway, any other majors that anybody wants to mention? Proud of there? Okay, well, we'll go on then. All right. What would you say from your internship was a very valuable experience or a beneficial takeaway from that really helped you into what you're wanting to do next? And what do you want to do after graduation? Yeah.
I think what I learned most from my internship was just how I work in a nonprofit environment, and sort of that isn't the sector. I study development. That's sort of the sector of development that I do not want to work in, and that's something you might take away from your internship if you are interested in a certain field, but you don't know in what sector you'd be working in, whether it's private or nonprofit or public, or working for a state department. Having an internship can give you the experience that lets you know, like, this is what I don't want to do. And I enjoyed my experience at my internship, but at the same time, I knew, like, this isn't what I want to do for the rest of my life. So that was a huge learning experience for me, and also the internship I had was not very guided. It was kind of, the nonprofit I worked for was sustainable only because of the constant inflow of interns. And when they got there, basically they said, here's our mission, here's what we do, find your own projects, do your own thing. So that was really beneficial too, just to see in what kind of gauge my strengths and what types of projects were well suited for me.
But you really had to